What does a car that can go from 0 to 400 in less than 20 seconds and then keep on going mean for a time and a place where cars were merely a ways to go from one place to another, from a time and a place where cars were merely a shell, from a time and a place where cars were not even considered cars. They were essentially horse carriages with mounted engines. To today, when aerodynamics rules all and molds vehicles, we are in a time where speed and performance are the end all be all. They are the factors that matter most and the factors that make the loudest statements. So what does the Bugatti Bolide mean for the world? What does a company like Bugatti breaking yet again another threshold, another barrier? What does all of that even entail for the regular Joe? What does that mean for you and me? For people who might not ever go anywhere near a Bugatti? What does that mean for the middle class? What does it mean for people who live in places where Bugattis aren't even a thing? Well, it means that there is a new wave that is going to be unleashed. You see, when cars are engineered to break certain world records, when cars are engineered to break certain molds of perceptions, when cars are engineered to stand out and stand tall, they have what is known as a trickle-down effect. Other companies, other manufacturers pick up on tiny little things, use whatever they can from the research that has been done already. In their next launches, in their next designs, essentially giving you a little bit of what the Bolide has. And this is something that's going to be prominent, especially down the entire lineup of Volkswagen, followed by the rest of the car companies around the world. You can also see certain supercars that will be following suit real soon in the direction and the innovations that the Bolide has provided. Well, if we talk about history and Bugatti's history of racing, there are certain models that keep popping up. The Type 37A, the Type 35B, the Type 51, the Type 59, the Bugatti Veyron, the Veyron Supersport, the Bugatti Chiron, and of course the Bugatti Chiron 400. What does that leave us with? That leaves us with the capability of making a leap. You see, what Bugatti did here was not just put out a car, it was a statement. This car is the epitome of what can be done with today's technology, which cannot be said for a lot of other cars out there that are being manufactured on a larger scale. This car has everything that the technology permits it to have. No expenses were spared, nothing was left behind. And we come out with this, the Bolide. But what exactly is the Bolide? Well, let's just start with the fact that it is made entirely of carbon fiber. Carbon fiber all the way to its raw, basic components. The wishbone is made from a titanium composite. You can find carbon fiber and titanium used everywhere throughout the car. It's got a 3-layer diffuser. It's got the adjustable front and back. It's got the adjustable front splitter, the adjustable rear wing. Where things go a little more crazy is the fact that it's got so-called bubbles in the roof scoops, and on higher speeds these bubbles pull in more air and inflate, thereby reducing the amount of turbulence that the car is going to face at higher speeds, and better rear wing airflow. All of that just increases downforce like nobody's business. Another thing that the Bugatti Bolide was launched with was these exclusive Michelin slicks. 340mm in the front, which is huge already, and then you get to see 400mm in the back. Absolutely ginormous tires. But considering what this car is capable of, it's more than necessary to have that much amount of force, that much amount of traction. The car in total weighs 1240 kilograms. This is a 16-cylinder 2-seater car. And when I say 16-cylinder, of course you guys already know what I'm talking about, with the W16 that puts out 1600 horsepower at 90 octane gas. But if you go 110 octane race fuel, that same engine pumps out a horsepower of 1850. That sheer ability to boost its own potential by merely changing the fuel that it's burning. It's outstanding. The fact that aerodynamics is the only thing that molded this vehicle just makes it all the more amazing to look at, all the more amazing to adore, to cherish. But by no means is it just to cherish and just to look at. The fact that this car did a lap of the Nürburgring in 5 minutes and 23.01 seconds, and did a lap of Le Mans in 3 minutes and 7.01 milliseconds, which is 7 seconds faster than any LMP car has ever done Le Mans. Also, turn that engine on and it roars like a beast. It idles like a beast. That sheer sound makes you know that you're in the presence of a completely optimized W16. An engine that is ready to put out more power. More, and more. That's all that the Bugatti Bolide knows. It's got truly unmatched acceleration, and it is completely made of something known as stripped carbon. Essentially, the Bugatti Bolide is a stripped version of the Chiron. You take the Chiron, you take off all of the body panels, all of that jargon, and you remold it to be much more slicker, much more aggressive, much more track oriented. And you come out with the Bolide. The bare minimum of the Bugatti Chiron was what's left from where these guys rebuilt a car that stands alone. The driver is placed much more lower, almost like a Formula 1 driver would be sitting. And the front aerodynamics just are off the hook, considering that they keep the car so tightly bound to the track that high-speed maneuverability is off the charts again. It's got a 4-tip exhaust in the back that makes it look like a Batmobile, or fitting to be in the next Batman movie. And it's just so insane to think of a car that is capable of so much but will never see the streets because it's a purely track car. You never know. You never know though. You never know. The point of the matter is, the Bolide unveiled a whole new generation of technological advancements that are going to have its own effects with the lineups that follow, and the lineups that not just Bugatti releases, but a lineup that every single car company releases. And no matter what the price point, you will get to see significant changes that are directly influenced by the fact that this research is done. Sooner or later, you and I will also be driving a car that is engineered, inspired by the Bolide. And that's a good feeling until we can own our own. I'll see you guys in the next one.